Welcome to Morrell Glass Studio. I'm Richard Morrell. This is the second of a series of presentations on glass blowing essential skills. This time we will look at marvering. Like the block, the marver is used to position the weight of the gather, but its primary function is actually to remove heat to create an even cold skin on the glass, which helps to ensure the bubble will blow out evenly. This is known as tempering the glass. Originally, the marver was made from a slab of marble, which is where the name comes from. But these days they're usually made from a slab of steel. The top is oiled daily to prevent rust and wiped clean before use. If the workshop is dusty, it can be a good idea to wipe the marver before each piece. We'll see how to marver a series of gathers as we prepare a parison for blowing to shape. The objective is to achieve regularity in both shape and, very importantly, temperature. Starting with the first gather, the back end of the iron is kept low as we come onto the marver, making sure the iron is turning as we make contact. Using our fingers to roll the iron, slowly lift as we roll to move the weight of the glass off the end. It's always best to roll in one direction only, remembering to keep turning as we lift off and go back for another roll. Once the glass is chilled enough to settle, we can trap a little pressure in the iron with our thumb to form the first bubble. Blow the bubble up a little and marver again. Let this cool and harden thoroughly before making a second gather. When making a piece which requires several gathers, it is good practice to block and reheat each gather before marvering and blowing. This helps to even out the layers of temperature and keep the bubbles centered. After blocking and reheating, the second gather is marvered to chill or temper the surface. Start with the back end down as before and slowly raise the iron as we roll. Inflate the bubble to make an even wall thickness. Be careful not to thin out the end too far. After allowing the second gather to cool and harden, we make a third gather. This time we need to point and chill the end to keep some weight in the end of the blow. This can be difficult to learn, but it is an essential skill. First, we block and reheat the parison as before. Now, stabilise the parison with one or two full rolls across the marver. On the next roll, hold the weight with the left hand as we progressively raise the iron to an angle with the marver to point the end, creating an even chilled surface across the form. Then, before the chilled surface warms and softens with the latent heat, inflate the parison to the required wall thickness. The parison should be thinner next to the iron and thicker toward the end. From here, the rest of the piece is usually made in the bench, but for those who are feeling a little more adventurous, the marver can still be useful. Reheat the piece well, and stabilise the form with one full roll on the sides. Then come back onto the marver at an angle to chill the end. Now, while holding the weight with our left hand, we can inflate the top of the form while holding the base end with the marver. While the piece is still hot, hang it over the back of the marver. Maybe inflate a little more, then make a separation cut by rolling along the edge. Be careful to keep the iron at a right angle to the edge or the cut will spiral. This can be a very useful technique for cutting in larger pieces. A low marver is not often seen these days, which is surprising, but it can be a really useful tool. Because we can keep our eye in line with the iron, it is much easier to keep the parison centered when we're rolling on the end. Some glass blowers like to marver hand over hand. This is okay for bits such as handles, but hand over hand marvering will always leave cold flat faces on the gather and is not suitable for preparing a parison for blowing. It will almost always blow out off center. If you're wondering what a parison is the relationship or comparison between the inner and outer layers of the glass bubble. Blocking and marvering are how we prepare the Parison to achieve the correct wall thickness in the blown form. As such, an understanding of Parison shapes is absolutely central to the art of glass blowing. You can find more discussion of the various Parison shapes and of course many other things in Morrell's Guide to Glass Blowing, which is available on Vimeo. Thanks for watching and good day.